to another episode
of Pharaoh Moms.
We have a super special guest with us today. Very excited. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you.
How do you pronounce? Is it Andrea?
Andrea.
Okay.
There's a lot of different pronunciations. Got to make sure we have it right.
Exactly. So, Andrea,
yes,
runs Mommy AF. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize that my name is Andrea Fanta. My initials are AF. So I started that group with my name on it because I'm a narcissist. I'm just kidding.
Do you want to move your mic a little bit closer? Yeah.
Sure. Is that better?
Have it like almost.
Like I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, you can move the arm and like swivel it down a little bit.
Okay.
It should. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Where was I?
Mommy AF.
Yes. So yeah, Mommy AF is just a mom's group on Facebook.
I love it.
Started by little old me, but kind of has grown into a much bigger thing. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's huge now. There's like different types to like.
Yeah.
I think I saw one that was like caffeinated AF.
Yeah, it's so funny because we started it just for the moms, and then my husband was like, well, I need a place too. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll make Dad AF. We didn't do Daddy for, obvious reasons. But then all these other people were like, well, what about a group for like, we like gardening or photography? And so there's like 75 different AF groups. I don't like manage all of them because I was like, I'm not starting another group unless I have somebody else to handle it. So
that sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot.
How do you manage that because you own the consignment store too, sole purpose? Yeah. How do you manage the group, the store, your home life, juggling all of that?
It all intertwines kind of a lot. So as far as the moms groups go, I have a lot of people that help me. So I have, for each group that we have, there's probably at least 5 admins. Okay. So for me personally, I go through and like once or twice a day, I'll scroll through and make sure there's just not people trying to sell their Mary Kay and like all the other stuff that ends up in the moms groups. But for the most part, they really help a lot with that stuff. So that's helpful. The store is its own animal all by itself. It's just like a giant beast of a project, but it kind of developed from the groups, and so they kind of work a lot together. So a lot of times we'll do like the mom meetups, we'll just do it at the store. So a lot of the artists in my store came from the moms groups. So and then at home, so I homeschool my youngest too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're 12 and 13, and they're both on the autism spectrum, and really struggled with like regular school. And so in the last couple of years, my husband and I were like, well, we have, like, he works from home, and I was doing real estate full time at the time. And I'm like, well, we've got time. I've got all of this space available. We can do a lot of different things. Like, why are we forcing them to go to school where they don't want to be and they're not thriving? So yeah,
that's amazing that you do that. I really feel
cool.
like every child learns so differently. Yes. I remember when I was in school, like, for example, like when we took the ACT, I don't know if you guys remember, but like the reading prompts, they said like, oh, read the first paragraph and the last paragraph. That's not the way that my brain works. Like I have to fully like read something start to finish to be able to like comprehend it.
Sure.
I'm also a very like hands-on learner.
Yeah.
I always say at work with like different things, like I have to physically do it myself, not somebody be like, press this, then do this. No, I have to like fully do it myself. Right. So I think that's
Muscle
amazing.
memory.
Yeah, because I mean, you know your kids the best, so the way that you can teach them.
Yeah. And my oldest is 19, so she still lives at home, but she's obviously not in school. And then I have one who's a senior in high school, and she really likes school. She thrives there. She's got her friends. She likes going to the dances and all that stuff, so she does her thing. But
that's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. What are some of the key challenges that you have faced with the mom group, and then like how did you overcome those?
Still working on the overcoming part, but a big struggle is that I started this group when somebody close to me was going through a really bad mental health crisis. And I opened up to these people. I would like hop in my bathtub on Friday nights and go live.
I remember that.
I still get people who are like, I used to watch you in the bathtub, and anybody that's hearing that is like, what are you talking about? but I would like pour my heart out and like share stuff from my personal life, and that makes people like connect with you.
It does.
Yes,
Like they,
absolutely.
they
It really
resonate
does.
with that. But that also definitely invades my family's privacy sometimes, and I kind of did that to myself, you know. But so there's like the anonymous posting feature that I feel like I use probably more than anybody, because if I post something and I'm asking for advice about my relationship or my kids or something like that, I don't want to put their business out there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I need advice or I need help with something, and I can't even get the advice because people make fun of the anonymous posts. They don't give advice to them.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a reason people post anonymously, and that's a good reason. So yeah, that's definitely a struggle.
You live and you learn though, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yes.
I feel like when you're very well known in that group, everyone's always Andrea. And I can understand where you're coming from with that, with people want to be like up in your business and whatever. And I forgot what I was going to say. I guess that kind of like, you're like a public figure now, you know?
Yeah, accidentally, right? Yeah.
So, how do you balance your time with everything?
Well, today's my day off. Here I am not working. But I definitely schedule myself time. Like today's my day off, so I have like, this is a fun thing for me, so it's blocked off for me, and then I'm going to get a tattoo after this.
Ooh,
fun.
Treat yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I work-
awesome.
I
Where
work
are you
hard.
going?
Mrs. Crimson is
Okay.
my tattoo girly. Yes.
Awesome.
So she just had a baby, so she's
Aw.
like slowly coming back. So we're starting a sleeve. So we'll see how
Nice.
far we get today. But I'm excited.
Ooh, that is exciting.
I love that for you.
Thanks. But yeah, so like when I do get a day off, I try to make sure that I do things that are enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
impossible not to work because there's always something to do, and I'm a bit of a workaholic. But like I've got my kids at home; they're on spring break this week, so they're like, "You're not going to sit on Facebook and like post things
Yeah.
and schedule stuff all day, right?" Like, no, absolutely not. We're not doing that. So.
That's awesome.
Do you have like a memorable moment with the Mommy AF group that it was kind of like, holy shit, like this is getting really big? Like, do you remember that kind of like, oh my gosh moment?
Back when it first started, there were a lot of those. One freaked me out a little bit. So you guys have seen the Mommy AF magnets, right? So you know, like you flip it upside down, it's like a silent high five. So I'm driving through De Pere at like the roundabout by like the paper factory. So driving there to the mall. So about a like 10-15 minute drive.
Yeah.
And there's this car behind me just following me like right on my butt. And I'm like, what is happening? Trying to lose them. And I pull in the parking lot at the mall, and this person runs out to my car and like hugs me and like, is like, can we get a selfie? And I'm like, I don't know
They
who you
followed you all
are.
the way there?
You just scared the crap out of me. You almost just died. I don't know if you realize. Like,
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
so, yeah, things like that, like that I didn't think about.
Yeah.
And people don't mean for it to be
Right.
like that, but they don't think about it in the moment, and then it's like, oh, I just tailed this person for 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
they're probably a little weirded out.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, or like people will, because they know that I have my store, people will come into the store and they'll just like approach me and like try to give me a hug or something, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I'm not a
Yeah.
hugger.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta like give me a little heads up or introduce yourself. 'Cause
Yeah.
your profile picture on Facebook is your dog. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know who you are.
You're like, who the hell are you?
So,
Kind of segueing off of the story that you just told with having kids, has there ever been like a time where you felt like your privacy was maybe like overstepped or like boundaries overstepped by fans?
when it comes to my kids, people generally are pretty well behaved.
That's good.
But there's some stuff, like I used to run like the Mommy AF's free community closet. It's just a
Okay.
Facebook group right now, but it actually started in my driveway. So we would set up in the summer from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We would have like tables and tables full of stuff. People would come donate. We would sort it, and then people who needed it would come and take it. But it got to a point where people were then coming after those hours, or they were stealing,
yeah.
like going into my garage and stealing things, or taking stuff. I had a basket of the Mommy AF magnets when we first started them, and I would keep them on my porch for people who wanted to do porch pickup.
Yeah.
So somebody came and like took a whole basket of them. Like, seriously, like it
Oh,
just
that
feels
just ruins it for everybody too, you know.
Or like we did like a Galentine's event at a house that I had flipped, and it was a huge house. There was tons of space, so we're like, let's all come and have like a feral mom's party. Like everybody will get crazy, and somebody stole my wallet.
Oh.
Like I had it stashed in one of the bedrooms, and somebody
Oh my gosh.
yeah, and it was like money from all of the people who had like paid to have a booth there that night.
Oh,
so it
no.
was nice fat stack. So just those little tiny things that make you like step back and like, okay, I need a storefront. I'm not doing this at my house.
You can't
Like,
trust everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately. One person's got to ruin it for everybody.
For sure.
It's usually how it goes. 100%.
Okay, so you need to tell us about your adult prom. And I know that it used to be just a mom prom.
Yes.
And it's evolved into this huge thing now. So you need to tell us about this because we are very excited to go.
Yes.
How long have you been doing it for?
So we started in 2022.
Okay.
So we started in April. We did the mom prom, and it was nuts. Like maybe a little too crazy. Like people, I don't know if half the ladies there remember the night, but it was fun. But we got home, and all of the husbands and boyfriends and everybody saw the pictures, and they were like, I want to do that. So then we threw together a regular like adult prom for everybody in June of that year. So we just did 2 proms in 1 year, bam, bam. And then after that, we're like, well, we're just going to do it for everybody. Like the moms was fun, but I can't plan 2 giant events every year. So the first year we didn't really have a cause attached to it. And then when we got into it, we're like, wow, we're taking in all this money and we're just throwing it back at this bar essentially and paying bar tabs instead of doing something with it. And we have, you know, a huge mental health crisis, and we've got kids on the autism spectrum. We have all of these needs in our community. Like we could definitely do something with this money that we're making here. So since then, we've kind of picked, every year we pick 2 different local organizations. We let the community kind of nominate organizations. So it's not just the ones that we're biased towards. But yeah, they nominate organizations. We kind of reach out to them and find out what their needs are, and we just raise some money. So at prom last year we had over 500 people there.
Oh, wow.
That's insane.
That was really
bigger than a high school prom.
That's crazy.
And it's so every year it's just getting bigger and bigger. And so it's almost like becoming too big for me. I'm like, okay, I need some help next year for sure. But, you know, control freak, we'll see. But yeah, so we'll have From the Ash Tree is going to be there doing photography.
Ashley, I love her.
Love her so much. So she's going to do like the fun, like awkward prom poses.
Oh,
and then,
oh my gosh, you have to get some of those.
And then some good pictures too. And then we'll have Music on the Go is our DJ, and they do some free community events each year, and we're one of the events that they donate their time for.
Oh, that's
which we
awesome.
Yeah, I love when people do that. Kind of contribute to the cause.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to pay a DJ, that just takes away from the beneficiaries.
Right. Yeah.
So helps everybody. But yeah, they'll have their photo booth there. They'll be DJing. We have a 50-50 raffle, a basket raffle with baskets from like 50 different local businesses.
Yeah, I saw some of them. They look really great. I saw that Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put all my tickets in that one.
And you'll win it. You will win it. In case you didn't know, Rachel wins everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Every time I open Instagram, it's like, Rachel mentioned you in 45 different comments. I click on all of them. They're all for like giveaways or like win.
Okay, if you don't enter, you can't win.
She did
That's
win the
very
prom
true.
tickets.
I did.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the adult prom. I feel like, I don't know, high school prom is so hyped up. And then it's like one little night and then it's all gone. But it's like, you live for the prom. I remember like even weeks leading up to it, it's like,
Where was your prom at?
it was at my high school.
Okay,
It wasn't even at like a cool place.
Because everybody, where was your prom at?
Mine, I didn't even go to my prom. My boyfriend went to a different school, and I went to his prom. So
Was it in a high school?
it was at high school though. Yeah.
Okay, when I moved here, everyone was like, oh, prom is going to be at Stadium View or some other place, Riverside Ballroom or something. And I was like, that's weird. Ours was just in our high school gym.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, they tried to like make it unique. I remember my junior year, it was Taylor's Oldest Time was the theme.
Oh, that's cute.
It was cute, but it's also like, this is just the cafeteria. Like putting a little fountain and some cardboard cutouts doesn't spice it up too much. But yeah, I'm super excited. Dress shopping.
Yes.
Yes.
I know. I bought one dress already, and then I was like, I kind of want a different one. So now I'm going to have like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Every year I end
Save
up with
them
like
for
a
next year.
pile. We just sell
that's
them at the
awesome.
store.
Yeah.
Then I don't feel bad buying more than one dress because I know
There you
I can
go.
just sell it.
There you go.
I know I did see a few that you were posting that are in the store that anybody can go purchase, try on, whatever. So if you need a dress, go check them out.
And I think what you were saying too, like when you're in high school going to prom, I think you care too much.
Yeah.
When you're a teenager, like you have to look perfect
Yeah.
and like it's got to be a perfect princess night. I'm gonna be 40 next month. I don't give a shit about anything. Like I don't care. Like if you don't like my dress, I don't care.
Yeah.
I like how it looks on me. Like I'll just go and have fun. So.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
just
what
going to
it's
be a
about.
lot of fun to dress up and have a good
Yes.
time. I'm excited too because I'm like, when would I ever wear a prom dress or like
Yeah.
even like a fancy gown? Like never. Maybe my wedding one day.
I love a good excuse to dress up. I love it.
Heck yeah.
Same. Look like a princess for the night. How do you envision the event benefiting the charity? And like, can you talk a little bit more about the charities that you will be donating to?
Yeah, so You Belong is an organization in the area who focuses on families and kids with all abilities. So where Bridge the Gap focuses on families that have kids with autism specifically. Both of those organizations, though, do a lot of things within the community.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people who when you're on the spectrum, it's hard sometimes to do the social things because it's overwhelming, whether it be because of the noise or just all of the stimulation. And so Bridge the Gap is great. My kid goes to Bridge the Gap and loves it. They go on excursions, they go to the bowling alley, and they like order snacks and they have to order for themselves. So they practice like talking to people. They have
Yeah.
to tip.
That's
so they,
great.
like
That's
teach
awesome.
them about tipping, which, you know, you can have your own opinions about the tipping culture, but it's good for them. And then they also do like once a week they get together and they do like at the Bridge the Gap at the center, like skills things. So they'll play Jeopardy, but it's like understanding nonverbal cues and things like
Okay.
that. So it really helps them. So a lot of what we're raising money for them is things for around their center. So they have a lot of different age groups that are there, and a lot of the furniture and stuff that they have there right now is just stuff that they've taken from their homes because they just have big hearts and it's what they do. But after kids use it a lot, it starts falling
Yeah.
apart. So couches and headphones and a lot of just like the outdoor games and stuff like that is what they're looking for. So sometimes organizations have like a really big ask, and so they're like, we need $5,000 for this. Like, okay, no pressure. But for them, really, it's just like, please help us with whatever you can from this list.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is a really awesome thing that they do, is like helping teach those kinds of
Yeah.
things. I know that's really hard for kids to
Yeah. And
come
it
out of their
takes-
shell and stuff like that with that.
Definitely. And it takes a special kind of person to be able to help
It does.
kids that are struggling with
Yes.
those things, because the patience and like just the compassion, like,
Yeah.
they are amazing human beings. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's wonderful too that they're able to, I guess, like be taught important life skills. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I remember at my high school too, there was like a program where after you graduated, you could go back and kind of like they would teach kids like how to cook and do laundry and stuff like that. And like some kids literally don't know how to do that. So the fact that like there's an
some
that's-
grown men don't know how to
Yeah.
do that.
yeah, no, I think it's very important. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then You Belong is the other one. So they're over by the bowling alley, and they have a much bigger space that they have. But what they're working on right now is an actual diner space or like a cafe space inside their building.
Oh.
So they have a big play space and they do a lot of events, but people usually leave to go get food when it's time for lunch or whatever. So they want people to stay, obviously.
Yeah.
And so they're working on making it like their cafe would be run by some of their clients who want those skills and want to get like rehabilitated, like
Yeah,
and work
that's
like
amazing.
hands-on stuff. So yeah, it's exciting to be able to see what we're helping with.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing.
That is.
So, this prom, if people wanted to still get involved and support in baskets and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
anything, really, how can they do that?
So following us on Facebook is usually the best way to just find all of our stuff because that's where everything is. So it's Sole Purpose GB on Facebook. But otherwise, I can give you all of the email address and all that stuff too. But as far as the sponsors go, we're pretty capped on those because we did like our posters and all that stuff with everybody's logos. But like tagging people on social media, like I'll take all of the baskets. Last year we had like 4 tables full. I'll fill up 6 tables if people want to contribute. It's good stuff too.
Yeah.
Like we got a basket donated yesterday from it's Lipstick and Lace by Melissa and the Hair Baddie. So they combined a makeup and hair basket. So there's a certificate. There's a certificate for like a full face application of makeup.
Oh wow.
Low lights. There's like a Too Faced makeup palette in there and tons of product. I was like, I'm just gonna take this.
I win.
Right?
I don't know what happened to that one.
But yeah, so any local business who just wants a little bit of extra exposure, if they want to bring a basket into the store, they can definitely do that. We're looking for them up until like March 25th, just for advertising purposes, because we use those baskets to help sell the rest of the prom tickets to kind of lure people in. So they can still bring baskets after that, but they just get more exposure the sooner they get it to me. So the trade-off.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any fun like themes for the prom this year?
Not this year.
Okay.
So we used to try and get like when we did the mom prom, it was like 80s night.
Okay.
And I don't know why we
that'd
did
be
that because
fun.
we were all 90s kids. But 80s is just like one of those themes that's like a popular
I feel like it's
one.
pretty easy to.
Yeah. So it was confusing for people when you did the theme because they were like, are we like in high school where this is homecoming and we're dressing up? Like, so some people came in like 80s attire and some people came like in regular prom. They're like, I didn't really know how to dress. We're like, okay, fine. So then we just made it like glitz and glam or like on the red carpet or just something fun. We were thinking next year we might do like a decades prom, like dress how you would have dressed for your prom. Because we do have like there's kids who are 21 that come, and then there's people in their 60s that are there. So it's really a wide group of people.
Yeah,
so
it's
a lot of fun.
Vast.
Yeah, and everybody just dances and drinks together.
That would be a lot of fun. I know even like seeing my mom's prom pictures, she just had like a nice black long dress, and then when I was in high school the big trend was to have like big ball gowns. It's not even looking back now I'm like because now all these girls that are going to like their high school proms now, they have just more casual dresses. I feel like they're not as it looked like Cinderella.
I love those big ball gowns though.
I know, they're fun.
They are.
I thought about trying to squeeze into my prom dress, but I don't know. I think she's just gonna stay in the closet.
Try it. Just try it.
Maybe.
Just for old time's sake.
It's at my mom's. But next time I'm there, maybe I'll get it.
Take it out, do it.
Do it.
What kind of response have you like received from the community so far about the prom?
People love it. Most people hear about it after it happened. They see all the pictures and they're like, what? I didn't even know that was happening. Like, so every year people are like, you need to advertise more. I'm like, I feel like that's all I talk about. So maybe you need to help me advertise. Like, so yeah, it's a lot of fun. A lot of people come, they show up, they spend a boatload of money on the raffle baskets or on drinks and food. But everybody usually comes back. So I think that's a good sign. That's
awesome.
why it keeps growing. So I take it as a good sign.
I know, I've been telling all my friends. I told Taylor and Riley, I was like, come with.
And some people are nervous about going alone.
Yeah.
So what we try to do, and I sucked at it last year because I was too busy, and I'm like, it's only 3 weeks away, but we try to do a couple of like get-togethers prior to prom, like just like a happy hour at like a local bar or something, so people can come meet some other people, so they don't feel intimidated just walking into like a big room of 500 people alone.
Yeah.
In the dark when all the loud music, like it'd be hard to get to know somebody in that environment. So yeah,
That's fair.
all kinds of opportunities.
Yes.
What do you enjoy most about doing things like this, like the prom and the fundraisers and all that kind of stuff?
I just really like community. I think that during COVID especially, COVID is kind of when all of like the moms groups kind of took off and stuff like that. And I think during COVID, I used to think that I didn't like people. And then COVID made me realize I do like people, I just don't like jerks. So it was like, okay, like we do need people. And they're like, that's why we started doing the free community closet and stuff like that, was just to get people out of their houses at a time when there was nothing open. So they would come and hang out, and they were like, okay, we should do something instead of just hang out in my driveway. Like, let's do the mom prom, or let's go out for breakfast or something like that. So I totally forgot what I was talking about.
We were talking about what you enjoy most about
Okay.
the fundraising and the bringing people together and stuff like that.
So yeah, the community for sure for me. I think I come from a family who is, not that they don't have friends, but they're very like, they mock mental health. They don't, like when you're having a struggle, you don't bring it to them. Those are things that we just don't talk about, you know? And so when I was going through, like when I started the groups and when like my, like people around me were struggling, I was like, okay, I need community. Like I need to find my people. And so that's why the group started. And so for me, I love when I see, like for mom prom, there's a girl who came to the prom by herself, and she became like friends with somebody that night, and now they go to prom together every year.
Oh, that's cute.
So yeah. Or like I know people in the group who like have started businesses together because they met
that's awesome.
on Facebook. Like I love stuff like that. Like collaboration, and that's why my store is what it is. So it's 90 local people who just make different things and sell it there. But the best part about it is when they all come to the store to restock their shelves, or like come in when we have an event in the store. I think just people being together, it just helps everybody.
Yeah, and everybody's got such a good energy that you have in your store, because I've been in there a few times. And like your employees, I've seen people restocking, I've seen people coming and going, and everyone's always got a really good energy in there, and that's really awesome.
I love that. We do hear a lot. People, they walk in, they're like, what is this place? There's just like a vibe in here.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
There really is. It's like, you gotta, I don't know if you've ever been in there.
I haven't,
you gotta
but
go,
I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, you gotta
I would
go in
love to
there.
go.
I brought you guys goodies today. It's a whole bag full of goodies from the store.
Oh my goodness.
So I'll give you a little taste.
Aw, you didn't have to do that.
I know.
Thank you.
So nice. Looking ahead to the future a little bit, like what are some of your goals with your store, the prom, kind of all around?
Yeah, so for prom, my goal next year, I'm going to hire an events coordinator. So even within my store, we do a lot of events too, and I kind of plan most of those. And so almost every day I have an event of some kind happening, and it's a lot going on all the time.
That sounds like a lot.
It is. Yeah. So the tricky part is that I do a lot of stuff from the goodness of my heart and not for dollars. And so it's hard to hire somebody and convince them to also do it out of the goodness of their heart. So, and be a workaholic and commit their entire life to it. But so that's my goals, because I want it to keep getting bigger. There's a lot more I think that we could do with the prom leading up to it, like a spirit week and all kinds of ways to get the community.
That would be so much fun.
Right? Like more involved, but I'm one person and I'm trying to run a store and like homeschool and do all the things, so I just don't have the time. But using the store too, we have moved several times. So we started in a little tiny strip mall in Swamico, and we outgrew that pretty quickly. And then we moved into a space in the middle of the mall, and then we outgrew that within a year. So the space, the space that we're in now, it's the old Gap Kids, so it's really big, but we're almost feeling cramped in there too. And so I told my husband eventually I'm just going to buy the mall.
I love that.
I think he thinks that I'm joking, but he probably somewhere like back in his mind he knows that I'm completely serious. So I think of my store as like a mini mall, and I'm just practicing for when I have the whole thing to work with.
That's amazing.
So that's in the future.
That is awesome.
That would be really cool to see. But just like all the different artists like in such a giant space.
They can each have their own little store within the store.
Absolutely. And that's what I tell my people too. Like some people are like, there's a lot of like Shadow Rose Boutique opened in Seymour, and there's a lot of other little boutiques that sometimes we have like overlap in the artists and stuff like that, and people are like, oh, did you see this store is opening? Like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna go check it out and say congratulations and see if she needs help with anything.
What are you gonna do?
What do you mean? Like, we need more small businesses. We need more art. We need more people who are willing to take the risk and like do cool things. So yeah, that's how I roll.
That's awesome.
The store, when I was last in there, there were like these little like, I think they were earrings, but they were like they had like little mushrooms in them, and they were like, it was like a little dome, and I was like, I wish I had my ears pierced.
You don't have your ears pierced?
Well, I do, but they're like stretched.
Oh, because they're gauges?
Yeah, and this is the smallest they'll ever get.
You can get them stitched up.
Do you know how expensive that would be?
What about clip-ons?
I thought about that, or like the hoop ones where it can just like go in there, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have my ears pierced, but every time somebody brings earrings in, I'm like, I need these. So somebody who works there makes jewelry, so he changes the backs for me. He changes them to clip-ons.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm excited. I definitely want to go there.
Yeah, you
Sounds
should.
like they have some fun things.
They do. I bought Wyatt one of his purple flannel things from there.
Oh, yeah.
It had like the corpse bride thing on the back. I forget the name of the
Boogeyman Boutique.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome that like you are able to put so many like small businesses together into one. I think it's so important that you do so much for the community.
And it's so cool.
Incredible.
Like, a lot of the people came from the moms groups, or they came from back before the moms groups, even when I did real estate. Like, 10 of our 90 people are former real estate clients.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So, like, for me, like, building relationships, like, that's super important.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm proud of that. When I look at the people who have been with us since we opened back in early 2022, like, who have been here the whole time, like, there's a good chunk of them. So, that's what I look for.
That's cool. If you had a piece of advice for someone looking to do things like you do, like positive impacts in the community, what would you say to them?
Just do it. There's a lot of people just kind of sit back and wait for somebody else to do something, even if they know it needs to be done, you know, but they feel out of place or awkward, or they don't know how to start. Like, just start. Like, start a Facebook group and invite 2 people and tell them what your mission is and explain what you're trying to do and get people on board. Like, you can do it by yourself. It's easier with people on board. But I think a lot of people, they just sit back and wait, and then they try and hop on somebody else's movement when it's really not that hard to just do something. Just take the initiative.
Kind of like the bystander effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was thinking about that, but I was like, I forgot what it's called right now. But yes, 100%.
Yeah. Just waiting for someone else to make the first move, and you can do it yourself. It's,
You just have to put yourself out there. That's what we're doing.
I feel like
it
that
can
goes
be
with like
intimidating.
anything that you do in life. You just got to do it.
And I think a lot of people, like, it's the confidence, like the fear of rejection, or what if I do this podcast and nobody is even interested in this?
Yeah.
Like, well, who cares? Is this fun for you?
It
Like,
is so
yeah.
fun.
So
We didn't
do
think
it for
anyone would be
that.
listening, and I think the last video got like 140 views on
Yeah, that's
YouTube.
pretty good. Because if you think about it, like nobody's watching it more than once. At least, I don't think. I mean, maybe they are. I don't know.
And I'm like, who are you 140 people?
Yeah.
Show yourselves.
Well, and I think it's important to, like, when you have a goal, or if you're trying to make a change, you know, start something new, like, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, there's times where, you know, like, overnight fame is a thing, but I feel like that's very quick to end.
Right.
A lot of times when, like, somebody, like, blows up overnight, it's like, okay, and then you hear about them one time and then gone.
Definitely.
I feel like a lot of people get like in that mindset where they're like, if it doesn't take off right away, then why is it worth it?
100%.
It's not worth it. And it's, if you enjoy it and you like it, it's worth it. And you know,
Exactly.
I feel like then when you become successful from it, or you like succeed, it just makes it so much more rewarding knowing that like you worked really hard. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any goals that you want to accomplish with the moms group and the store? Or is it just like moving into a bigger space eventually?
Yeah, right now, so we have kind of a construction project that we want to do during the next slow season. So July is kind of a slower retail month, so kind of have some projects in mind that we want to take on, but not allowed to say too much about those yet. But it would just give us a little more visibility in the mall.
Okay.
So that's exciting.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now that it is getting warmer outside, there will be a lot more like moms meetups and stuff like that, and we'll be getting together at parks and things like that. So that's fun. The winter can be really hard.
It is
The winter
really hard.
is extremely difficult.
Yeah, every winter I'm like, I don't know why I live here.
Same. I told my husband last year, like, this is our last winter here for sure. And then this winter just snuck up. I'm like, oh, here we are.
Back for another one.
Yeah.
I don't like living where the air hurts my face.
Yes.
You know, and like I don't know.
I know that the Facebook group though, there's a lot of like events and like meetups so that always happen even in the winter, which I feel like is very important because like as a mom with a 4-year-old, that girl she's a ball of energy. And I work nights usually. So during the daytime, if she doesn't have school, she's like, what can we do? Can we go somewhere? Can we go to the park? And I'm like, girl, it's -30 outside and there's a foot of snow. Like, no. So yeah, I feel like sometimes that can be like extremely like isolating, especially during the winter months. So I think it's really important to surround yourself with the community and
Yes.
Combine that with seasonal depression.
Yes.
On top of regular depression.
Yeah.
Fun little cocktail.
Yeah. I'm so excited for summer though. Oh my gosh. Like every day we just go to the park and have lunch every single day.
I can't wait to wear shorts at night.
Yeah, we got teased with the weather those couple of days
Yeah, I
last week,
know.
and now,
And now it's
everything.
gonna snow this week. Did you guys see that? Yes. I want to see like 2 of the days. I looked at the weather this morning and I was like, oh, that's nice.
I try not to get so upset about snow in March and April because I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like snow in January feels so heavy.
It does. Yeah.
Like this time of year, I'm like, okay, it can't last more than a few days. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna melt. That's what I keep telling myself.
Well, I feel like we had a late winter this year as well. It was
Yeah.
like 50 degrees in like the end of November, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just remember I was like, this isn't normal.
We went no jackets on Halloween.
Yeah, I did yoga
Yeah.
outside on Christmas Day. There was no snow yet on Christmas, so.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid though, and like one time in April, it snowed like 6 inches, and I woke up and I was like, huh.
Yeah, my birthday is April 17th.
Okay.
And so I always say, like, if we get snow on my birthday, we're leaving. We're going somewhere warm. And
Booking a flight immediately.
Yeah, a few years ago, we got like 4 feet of snow. Maybe not that much. Like 2
yeah,
days
that was
before
a
my
lot,
birthday.
yeah.
It was a lot. Like, let's leave. I'm serious.
My birthday's in May, so I feel like it's usually. I don't think I've ever had like a great weather for my birthday. It's usually like raining or just gloomy outside.
Yeah.
Yes. You
Sloppy.
don't plan an outdoor birthday party. Like,
Even my
it's just
daughter,
silly.
her birthday's in October, and I remember her first birthday. It was like 70 degrees outside. Everyone was outside in like tank tops, dresses, and then her second party, it was freezing and raining outside, and I was like, oh. And then last year, I think it was kind of nice out. Or she's 4. I lost a year somewhere in between there.
It happens.
Like this past one, it was kind of chilly.
Was it?
Yeah.
But I never know, because like it's.
But you had it indoors. So.
Yeah, I'm just planning on it being indoors because her second party, we were like, shit, where are we gonna put all of these people? We all had to
Yeah.
cram into Eric and Sam's house. Bless their hearts for letting us use their
See,
space.
I always did my kids' birthdays outside. Their birthdays are 2 weeks apart exactly. So I like in the middle of that, I always had a party outside. And so far, the last 10 years, the
Knock on
weather
wood.
has cooperated. But last year we did Hundred Lodge, and I think I'm just going to do that again.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
No cleanup.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
that-
had
that
one of
is
those
nice.
giant like blow up water slides with like the bouncy house on it and stuff. So I would just use that, but yeah, I think not having to cook for people was really cool.
Yeah, when
Or
my kids
like-
were young, I learned to schedule birthday parties between meal times. So we do like a 1:30 to 3:30 party or something.
Yeah.
Like then I don't have to feed everybody.
Yeah, that's nice. 100%.
Just snacks. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Are you gonna do it at Tundra Lodge again this year?
Yes.
I hope Tundra Lodge made some room adjustments.
I had a horror story from
That was the first episode ever.
yeah. It was really bad. They gave me some money back though.
The
so
door
like,
didn't
that's good.
lock. The toilet was clogged.
Oh.
The party room had no air conditioning.
We're crossing our fingers. This year will be better.
Yeah, but I don't think this year I'm gonna do the party room. I think I'm just gonna get that big room and have everybody up in there.
That's fun. I'm excited.
Yeah. So tell us all the details about the adult prom, when it is, where it is, how you can get
Yes.
tickets, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's at Stadium View Event Halls, so that's over on Holmgren. There are going to be some road closures happening around the stadium on Oneida and some of the things in that area with the draft coming, and that will start prior to prom, it sounds like. So I'll post a map out there so that people know how to get there. But it's April 5th, 7 to 11 p.m. at Stadium View. You can get tickets for $10, so that gets you in the door. It gets you late night pizza and snacks, and it also gets you into a drawing for a $100 gift card to Soul Purpose. So yeah, and then once you're there, obviously, then there's all the raffle tickets for all the baskets and all that stuff. So
How much are the raffle tickets?
so it's $5 for one ticket or $20 for 5.
Okay. Not bad.
I'll be bringing all my money.
It's good stuff. So and
I
yeah,
want to get that hair and face basket.
I'm coming for that Harry Potter basket. Hands off, everybody. So, yeah. Well, it's about that time. We loved having you here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to have you back on again.
All right. Sounds fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming out and spending your day off with us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoy your tattoo later.
Oh, I can't wait for some ink therapy.
That's the best kind of therapy, honestly.
Absolutely.
But thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you.
Everybody go to this adult prom. We're going to be there. She's going to be there. We're all going to be there. It's going to be fun.
Heck yeah.
It's going to be a big party.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Take lots of pictures so you remember the next day.
Right? You couldn't drink it at the high school proms. At least I couldn't.
No.
Somebody had to come and like sneak it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really living my prom life to the fullest.
Well, thanks for listening. Mental health matters.
Yes.
So check on your family, friends, loved ones. We love you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.